I'm Sari Custer, Chief of Science and Curiosity here at Arizona Science Center, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to Career Corner. This short interview series is a program of the Arizona Science and Engineering Fair, where we get a chance to look a little bit more closely at some STEM careers and meet some STEM professionals and hear about their career journeys. Today, I'd like to introduce Dr. Christopher Briggs, Associate Professor of Mathematics and Data Science, also Program Chair for Data Science, all in the Department of Mathematics at Embry Riddle Aeronautical University. So, Chris, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Well, this is always an exciting time to hear directly from those scientists, especially in our community. And our teams have crafted some questions to get to know you and hear about that journey a little bit better. So I'm just going to kick it over to you first to tell us a little bit more about you and what is it you do at Embry Riddle?
Yeah, sure. So like you noted, I'm a professor here at Embry Riddle, and I am in the mathematics department, and I'm the program chair of data science. So I'm an educator, and I'm a researcher, and I'm a mathematician, and I'm a data science, and I just do a little bit of each of those. So people generally have a pretty good idea of what math is, but data science is this new thing. So it'll probably do to talk a little bit about what data science is. There's buzzwords going around like big data and machine learning, and those have to do with what I do. Basically, it's about finding information inside of large data sets. So we want to do that so that we can explain and predict different things. And this helps us to make decisions. Now, I'm speaking pretty vaguely, but that's because it applies in so many places. So data science is used to explain and predict in marketing, in genomic medicine, epidemiology, forensic accounting, investing, politics, counterterrorism, self-driving cars. You name it, pretty much data is driving decisions.
So that's all pretty big stuff and really important. How on earth, because I feel like I can't turn around right now without hearing something about data science. But 10 years ago, it wasn't that way. 5 years ago, even, I don't think it was quite that way, or maybe I'm just more conscious of it now. How is it that you ended up in this type of career?
Yeah, so I've always loved computers. When I was a toddler, my family got an Apple II computer, and I was attached to it basically from the get-go. I taught myself to program on my TI-83 in high school. It uses the basic programming language, so that was my introduction there. And I went on to get a PhD in pure math, not using computers. But then after the PhD, I went to work in industry, and I was using data science techniques in order to optimize healthcare software for a large provider of electronic medical records. So marrying those two, the math and the computers, felt very natural to me. It was kind of a homecoming, and that's sort of where data science lies, is the intersection of those. So I'm a researcher with the math PhD, but my research interests have been shifting gradually over towards data science, especially machine learning. And I feel privileged to be able to introduce this exciting field to my students at Embry Riddle.
And I'm going to go off script a little because, people hear about AI and they hear about machine learning and they get very scared. So, anything that you'd like to address there, just briefly?
Well, I guess it depends on what they're scared about, right? Scared in the sense of intimidated by this technology. I don't think there's any need to be. It's remarkably simple to apply these technologies. I can teach anyone to do it in a few minutes. But in order to do it well, to understand the nuances, that's a very deep study. If you mean worried, like in the sense of people being afraid that some super AI is going to take us over or something like that,
We get that a lot.
I share that concern. Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So other than thinking about, AI taking over the world, let's go back to your career. Tell us what it is that you enjoy most about it. It sounds like there's a lot of different arms of what you do.
That's really easy. Data science is awesome because every day you're doing something new. It's the opposite of routine. Every day there's a new challenge, there's a new discovery to be made, and you can be applying it to any domain you feel like, right? So, I'll have an idea that I want to investigate. I'll put in some work like gathering the data, looking at some visualizations, trying to see what's in it, maybe training some neural networks. And just the suspense of seeing how it's going to turn out really keeps me going. It's exciting. And I get to share that excitement with my students as well. every day in class, the students can't believe when time, I say, okay, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. And they look at the clock like, are you kidding? It's already over. So, it's easy to do. It keeps me going.
That's awesome. And that
Yeah.
connection is just so important to have the exciting moment, right? That's what drives us.
Yeah.
And our teens and a lot of the folks who are watching today, they hear a lot of those good things and those great connections. But one of the things they ask about a lot, and they've asked me to ask today, is about some failures. So when you look back at your career, what's a mistake maybe that you made early in your career? And how did you overcome it? What'd you learn?
Well, I don't know if I'll admit to any mistakes. Certainly, I had some challenges that I could learn from. So here's a lesson that I can share. When I was, focusing entirely on math research, I worked on a problem for probably about 4 years, and I didn't solve it. And this isn't
Wow.
unusual. Yeah. So for 4 years, the majority of my professional efforts went into it, and it didn't come to a solution. And this happens all the time. There's lots of problems that have been tackled by lots of great mathematicians over centuries and never gotten a solution. But the lesson here is that looking back, maybe I could have moved on a little earlier, and as a result, been a little bit more productive in the meantime. So you want to make sure that you're making progress. You want to make sure that your work isn't going stagnant. And if it has, you need to ask, what can I do to re-energize myself? Because when you're excited, you're going to be motivated.
That's a really great tip. And that's really, I think, important to think about. We're coming to the end of our conversation today. So Chris, for those who are thinking about going into STEM careers and STEM fields, and I love that you brought math into it because I feel like we don't get to talk enough about math, but, what is some advice for someone who might be thinking of a career in science, technology, engineering, or math?
Yeah, definitely. Follow your passion. It's cliche, but I've got to say, follow your passion and let your passion inform your dreams. STEM is intellectually rewarding, and it's also very much in demand as a skill set right now. So it's financially rewarding, especially data science. But you have to make sure that you love what you're doing. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to stay in your comfort zone, right? If you have some ideas about a field and you think like, I'm a person who doesn't do X, or I'm not good at X, well, how would you know that before you try? And when I say try, I mean really give yourself to it without reservations for a while and see how it's going, right? And find mentors. Find somebody who knows the things that you want to know, and find out how they learned it. And chances are, if they enjoy what they're doing, they're going to be really excited to share it with you.
I love that. Passion, mentorship, and I'm going to count in there that moving on quickly. I think that's all really important too.
Yeah. Keep it
Awesome.
exciting. Keep it going.
Keep it
Yeah.
exciting and keep it going.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Briggs, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope everybody enjoyed hearing a little bit about, your STEM journey. For those of you watching at home, thank you all for watching today. For more information on the Arizona Science and Engineering Fair, such as getting involved as a student, getting involved as a volunteer, a judge, sponsor, or even just seeing more of these great Career Corner interviews, please check out azscience.org. Again, Dr. Briggs, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks again. Great to meet you.
All right. Same. All right. Take care, everybody.